You're at the grocery store, and you reach for a jar of pickles. You twist the lid, but it doesn't budge. You adjust your grip, put a little more effort into it, and still nothing. You find yourself looking around, maybe a bit embarrassed, hoping no one noticed your struggle with a simple jar. Or perhaps you're trying to carry in all the grocery bags at once, determined to make it in one trip, but your fingers just can't hold on. The bags start to slip, and you have to set them down halfway to the door. These moments feel like small defeats, little reminders that maybe you're not as strong as you used to be. But here's what most people don't realize. That weakening grip, that inability to hold on, isn't just about your hands. It's a window into something far more critical. It's a direct reflection of the health of your heart. Welcome to Elderly Discoveries. Today, we're uncovering a shocking connection that scientists have been studying for years. A link so strong that it's changing the way doctors think about cardiovascular health. We're talking about the surprising relationship between the strength of your handshake and the strength of your heart. It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? How could squeezing your hand possibly tell you anything about an organ deep inside your chest? But the evidence is undeniable, and the implications for your health, your longevity, and your quality of life are profound. Let's start with a story. Meet Robert. Robert is 72 years old. For most of his life, he worked with his hands. He was a carpenter, a craftsman who took pride in building beautiful, sturdy furniture. His handshake was firm. His grip was solid. But a few years into his retirement, things started to change. It wasn't dramatic. He didn't wake up one day unable to use his hands. It was gradual. He noticed he had trouble opening jars, just like we talked about. Then, carrying his toolbox out to the garage became a two-handed, careful operation instead of the effortless swing it used to be. He chalked it up to arthritis, to getting older, to the natural wear and tear of a life well lived. It didn't seem like a big deal. Then, during a routine checkup, his doctor did something Robert hadn't expected. She pulled out a small device that looked a bit like a set of hand grips you might use for exercise. It was a hand dynamometer, a tool designed to measure grip strength. The doctor asked Robert to squeeze it as hard as he could. He did, and the reading came back lower than she'd hoped. She didn't dismiss it. She didn't say, "Well, that's just aging." Instead, she looked concerned. She explained to Robert that a weakening grip isn't just about the muscles in his hands and forearms. It's often a marker, a measurable sign of overall muscle health and, more surprisingly, cardiovascular health. She ordered some additional tests: an echocardiogram, a stress test, blood work, and sure enough, they found that Robert had developed some concerning signs of heart disease. His heart wasn't pumping as efficiently as it should. His arteries showed some blockages. None of it had caused a major event yet, but he was on a dangerous path, and his weak grip had been one of the earliest, most accessible clues. So, what is the science behind this? Why does the strength in your hands correlate so strongly with the strength of your heart? It comes down to a few key biological principles. First, grip strength is an excellent proxy for overall muscle mass and muscle function. When you squeeze something, you're not just using the tiny muscles in your fingers. You're engaging your forearms, your wrists, and to some extent, your entire upper body is stabilizing. Your muscle mass, especially as you age, is directly tied to your metabolic health. Strong, healthy muscles require good circulation, good nutrition, and efficient energy use. A body that's maintaining its muscle is a body that's generally taking good care of itself on a systemic level. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Your cardiovascular system and your muscular system are deeply interconnected. Your heart's job is to pump oxygen-rich blood to all your tissues, including your muscles. If your heart isn't doing its job well, your muscles don't get the fuel they need. They become weaker. They atrophy. They lose function. The reverse is also true. If your muscles are weak and deconditioned, it often means your body isn't getting enough physical activity. And a lack of physical activity is one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease. Weak muscles and a weak heart create a feedback loop. each one contributing to the decline of the other. But the connection goes even deeper than that. Multiple large-scale studies, involving tens of thousands of people followed over many years, have consistently found that low grip strength is a powerful predictor of future cardiovascular events. We're talking about heart attacks, strokes, and heart failure. In fact, some research has shown that grip strength can be as good, or even better, at predicting these events than traditional measurements like blood pressure. One landmark study published in a major medical journal followed over 140,000 adults across 17 countries. The findings were stunning. For every 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength, there was a corresponding increase in the risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. It was a clear, measurable, dose-dependent relationship. Weaker grip meant a weaker heart and a higher risk of serious, life-threatening problems. Think about that for a moment. A simple measurement, taken in seconds with an inexpensive device, can give your doctor as much, or even more, information about your heart health than some far more complicated and expensive tests. It's a game changer. And it's not just about prediction. It's about intervention. Because unlike your age or your genetics, your grip strength is something you can change. It's something you can improve. Let's go back to Robert. When his doctor explained all of this to him, he felt a strange mix of emotions. There was fear, of course. The idea that his heart wasn't working properly was terrifying. But there was also something else. There was hope. Because his doctor didn't just give him a diagnosis and send him on his way. She gave him a plan. It involved medication to manage his blood pressure and cholesterol. Yes, but it also involved something far more active and empowering. It involved exercise. Specifically, it involved resistance training, strength training, and yes, exercises designed to improve his grip. Robert started small. He began with simple hand exercises, squeezing a soft stress ball while watching television, using hand grippers for a few repetitions each day. He moved on to light dumbbells, doing bicep curls and wrist curls. He joined a senior fitness class at his local community center, where a trainer taught him how to safely use resistance bands and light weights. He learned that building muscle wasn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It was about maintaining his independence, his health, and his life. And something remarkable happened. Over the course of 6 months, his grip strength started to come back. Not to the levels of his younger days, perhaps, but significantly better. And alongside that improvement in his grip, his overall health improved. He had more energy. He felt steadier on his feet. His follow-up heart tests showed that his cardiovascular function had stabilized, and in some measures, even improved. He wasn't just holding on to jar lids anymore. He was holding on to his future. Robert's story isn't unique. It's a story that's playing out in medical offices and research labs all over the world. Doctors are increasingly recognizing that functional measures like grip strength are incredibly valuable. They tell a story that blood tests and scans sometimes miss. They reflect the real-world capacity of the body, not just a snapshot of one organ or one marker. And for older adults especially, maintaining muscle strength is not a vanity project. It's a survival strategy. So, what should you do with this information? First, get your grip strength measured. Many doctors' offices now have dynamometers. If yours doesn't, you can ask them to get one, or you can even purchase a reliable one online for a reasonable price. There are established norms for grip strength based on age and gender, and your doctor can tell you where you fall on that spectrum. If your grip strength is lower than it should be, don't panic. See it as valuable information, a call to action. Second, talk to your doctor about your cardiovascular health. A weak grip should prompt a broader conversation. It's a reason to check your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and possibly to do more advanced cardiac testing if needed. It's a red flag that shouldn't be ignored. Third, and most importantly, start moving. Start building strength. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment to begin. Bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups, chair squats, and simple arm raises with light objects, even cans of soup, are a great place to start. Resistance bands are inexpensive and incredibly versatile. And yes, specific grip strengthening tools, like hand grippers or therapy putty, can directly target that weak point. The key is consistency. You don't need to train like an athlete. You just need to challenge your muscles regularly, a few times a week, with progressive resistance. Over time, your body will respond. Your muscles will get stronger, and your heart, that tireless pump working every second of your life, will benefit enormously. The beauty of this discovery, this link between grip strength and heart strength, is that it democratizes health. It takes something that feels abstract and complicated, like cardiovascular disease, and makes it tangible. It gives you something you can measure, something you can feel, and something you can improve. Every time you open a jar with ease, every time you carry your groceries without struggle, every time you shake someone's hand with confidence, you're not just demonstrating hand strength. You're demonstrating life strength. You're showing that your body is capable, that your systems are working, and that you are actively invested in your own well-being. Your hands do so much. They connect you to the world. They allow you to create, to hold, to touch, to care for yourself and others. But they also hold a secret, a message written in the firmness of your grip. And that message is clear. A strong grip isn't just about strong hands. It's about a strong heart, a resilient body, and a longer, healthier, more independent life. Don't let that message go unread. Pay attention to your grip. Measure it. Strengthen it. Because when you do, you're not just holding on tighter. You're holding on to more years, more moments, and more of the life you love. Thank you for joining us on Elderly Discoveries. Here's to a firm grip and a strong heart.